Are you looking at updating to the touring seat on your Harley-Davidson bagger? Well, I've done it, and I'm going to let you know whether it's worth it or not. G'day throttlers, welcome back to the channel. Now if you're new here, welcome, my name is Rob, and to put it quite simply, I'm an enthusiast that likes to share my ideas, my experience and my knowledge about bikes, cars and gear. And today we're looking at the two different seat styles for the Harley-Davidson bagger range. Street Glide, Road King. This is the stock seat and I've already got the touring seat and we're going to compare the two. Now this is my 2019 Street Glide Special, and as you can see it's still got the stock seat on it, and the stock seat comes relatively low slung and the pillion area tapers off to a bit of an aggressive fastback style look. So aesthetically speaking, this seat looks clean, it looks really tidy and streamlined to match the style of bike it is for the Street Glide Special. Now obviously stock seats are designed to try and satisfy the majority of the population when buying a bike. Now there is an argument to say that there's a Harley tax and they intentionally make them uncomfortable so you buy a new one. I like to err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt and saying that this seat's designed for the majority of people in mind. Now having a look at the posture when it comes to the stock seat. Now as you can see I'm sitting here comfortably with the low handlebars. These are stock handlebars still. And what I find with this seat, and this is the thing that I don't like about it, this angle in my hip when I'm riding along is too acute. And what I was getting was a lot of hip flexor cramps. And it might also be because I'm unfit and unhealthy, but I was getting lots of cramps after about 150, 200 kilometers in the saddle. Obviously that's when the highway pegs come into act and you can have a bit of a stretch out, but it wasn't ideal. Also at about the 200 kilometer mark, I started to getting numb bum. It was when my bum would just go really numb and I'd be dying to pull over and stretch my legs a little bit. Other than that, the stock seat is pretty good. There is a fair bit of meat here for your pillion to sit on. Other than that, I just don't have many complaints about the stock seat. A little bit firm, 200 kilometer limit, and as you can see, the pillion seat tapers off and is a little bit more narrow than the touring one. Anyway, let's throw the touring one on and have a look at the difference. Look, as you can see, the transferring of seats is relatively a simple process. But you can also see by looking at this one, the difference in meat. Like this is almost doubly as thick here and doubly as thick here as well. So this is where the touring seat changes the whole dynamic of the riding position and experience. So number one, with all the extra padding, it's a lot softer on the bum. And now I can do a comfortable 300 to 350 kilometers instead of 200 without getting numb bum. And in a day's riding or even a couple of days back-to-back riding, that makes a massive difference. Also looking at the meat here on the pillion seat, it doesn't look as aggressive as sporty as the stock one did, which is obviously a problem for a lot of people. But anyone that you have on the back here, your wife, your girlfriend, your mates, whoever it might be sitting on the back, they're going to be a hell of a lot more comfy and a hell of a lot more secure with this massive bum pad here, and especially if you've got the sissy bar on the back as well, which I do have when I have people on the back. Now let's have a look at the posture. Now you may have noticed that now I'm sitting about 1.5 inches to 2 inches taller than the stock seat. And this is a position that I've liked the difference. Now, a lot of people like that low slung one where you're down like that and really aggressive. But for me, I like the fact that I could sit up nice and straight. My rider triangle was nicer. There's a kinder angle here, so I'm less likely to get hip flexor cramps, even though I still do get them occasionally. I'm sitting higher looking over the dash. I can see further down the road. And all in all, I like this position a lot better. Now, if you have a look at videos of the American style Harley police bikes, they're actually on a raised seat, a raised single seat as well. And just so they've got that maneuverability. And I certainly feel that when I'm flicking through corners, being higher, I feel like I've got more control over the bike and more accuracy when I'm going in and out of the corners. Look, let's face it, there is not a massive amount of difference between the two seats. Now for me, this seat progression is a very positive one for me, and I choose to use this seat over the stock seat 90% of the time. The only time I like to get on the stock seat, if I want to sit lower and get further down behind my windscreen, I certainly put the stock seat back on. But in general, I'm up here, I'm sitting taller, there's more meat here, my passengers are happier as well. The downside is, well, you can see it. It doesn't look as sleek, it doesn't look as aggressive. It looks a bit bulky and passenger vehicle-ish. That's the trade-off that I'm happy to accept with mine. Now there is a bit of a catch with this as well. Because I'm sitting higher in the seat, the stock windshield was no longer suitable. Now I've got the Freedom Shield's windscreen custom made from the US. I'll link a video just up here about the Freedom Shield's windscreen that I got. It's been a priceless experience for me. Well, number one, it was really affordable. Number two, the sales experience was amazing. Number three, it's given me an awesome windscreen that I'm super, super happy with. Well, folks, to wrap it all up, is this touring seat worth the extra money? I would say I love the touring seat. I choose to use it most of the time now. If you don't have a problem with the stock seat, it's not worth the upgrade. I wouldn't spend all the money to get this if you're happy with the stock seat. If you're not happy with the stock seat, like I wasn't, then this is absolutely worth the upgrade. And I was lucky enough, I got given this from a mate. I didn't have to fork out any money at all, but I love it. It's certainly a very, very valid upgrade to my bike. The only other thing that I'd like to do is get something that's really nice and customized by a hand stitcher, but that's down the track at the moment. This is doing the job just nice. Anyway, if you want to check out the video of my Freedom Shield windscreen, check it out right there. And until the next video, guys, as always, throttle on, stay safe, and I'll see you later.